Me today. I usually don't like to go on rants, but I mean, at this point, I've ran across two of, I think, the worst astrology articles that I have ever seen in quite a long time. And actually, one of them is, you've probably heard about it, and you can probably see it on the screen right now. Biblical prophecy claims that the rapture is coming on April 23rd, a numerologist said. So, thank you, Fox News, because you're not really helping any, of course. Fox News is going to some sort of CNN level stuff here. So, yeah, so basically, for some reason, the media, specifically Fox News and other media outlets, decide to pay attention to everybody and anybody that says that the world is going to end, okay? And I swear, I mean, you could comb through the Bible, but there's probably about just as many passages that say that you don't know when the hell the rapture is going to come versus, oh yeah, well, you can figure it out through astrology, okay? You can actually, I guess I will throw one caveat in there. In Vedic astrology, if all the planets are in their signs of exaltation, that is basically used as a foretelling of a coming of a incarnation of Vishnu. So but that's just part of the Hindu tradition. But let me go through this article. So if you find this on Fox, if you really care to look at it, of course they got it's always an asteroid too, I mean, here comes the asteroid, it's going to kill us all, I mean, for all we know, the world could explode from the inside out. But of course, they're thinking like, all right, well, maybe it's going to be some sort of like Jesus asteroid or something. So you can put a little cross on the side here. Anyway, so here's is the rapture finally here? A Christian numerologist. Okay, so this guy claims to be a numerologist, and he said the sign strongly suggests it. So let me. All I need to do is, he said, David Mead tells UK Daily Express new paper. So this was originally in the Daily Express, but even why they ran it is still beyond me. That April 23rd, the sun and moon will be in Virgo, as well as Jupiter, which represents the Messiah. Okay, so I really don't need to read very much before here. So he says, according to me, the line. So, but I'm going to do it anyway because hey, why not? I'm on a roll. Well, I'll show you why this is all garbage in a second here. So let's just go right into it. So he basically says that the sun and moon and Jupiter will be in Virgo. All right. So let's just say that's going to happen and the world's going to end, and all of a sudden cats and dogs start living together, and then we'll have 2012 with all the eruptions and stuff like that. Ooh, metaform sickness. uh, Man, I tell you, man, these articles have gotten so like they're like half ads. But anyway, let me show you something. So this is basically Sri Jyoti Star. So if you ever tune into my channel, this is this astrology software that I use to run charts. Then what I'll do is I'll just collect a screen snip of these charts. And then when I do my daily predictions, or I'm sorry, my monthly predictions, and my daily predictions, but my monthly predictions, I basically use the software, and then I'll superimpose my picture in the middle of it. So if you want to catch those, are pretty cool. But anyway, so here's all we have to do. So what I like to do in some of my consultations is this is the chart that I use. So this one is very Western friendly. So if you ever order a consultation with me, you'll get part of this, and the other part of your chart will look like this. This is basically the chart template that I use. And this is the basic Vedic template minus some stuff. Some people prefer North Indian. I prefer South Indian just because. Don't argue with me on it. But here, so this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. So this is now Los Angeles, and this is something that I use regularly. But let me go ahead and just pull up a now chart. So let's take New York, okay? So we got here February 13th, 2018. This is the time, New York, New York. All right. So this is using the Vedic zodiac. So even if I was using the tropical zodiac, which is 25 degrees above this, take a look at this. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do this right now. I'm just going to go ahead and... So if you ever want to change this, you go into options, and for Vedic software, it's called Ayanamsha. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch this to tropical. So global, let's see, Ayanamsha. So right now it's set to Lahirian. That's the one that you want to use by default, by the way, if you're going to do any Vedic predictions. It's pretty much an astrological consensus. And actually, Andrew Foss, who wrote this software, did a good job of explaining why you should use it. His logic is very rationally and very sound. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to No Ayanamsha, which what this will do is this will set everything to the Western zodiac. So this is what I'm assuming that he's using. So I will direct you, first of all, to the sign of Virgo here. Other than this ascendant, there is nothing in Virgo. So this is his first epic fail. Where is Jupiter? Jupiter is in Scorpio. So none of these planets are even in the correct signs to begin with. And even if Jupiter, let's throw him a bone, and let's say Jupiter was in Libra, okay? The thing is, Jupiter goes through Libra for 1 year every 12 years, and every 12 years, there's always going to be a new moon in the sign of Sagittarius, or I'm sorry, in the sign of Virgo here. So the planetary conjunction that he states basically happens every 12 years, regardless. And it's been happening in that way since the beginning of time, or since they invented astrology. So this is why people need to do a better job of tuning into astrology and understanding its fundamentals and how it works, because this article was so easy to debunk. It basically debunked itself because the planets aren't even in the right position. So, I mean, okay, so the other one that I'm going to talk about here, can you tell I'm irritated? The other one that I'm going to talk about here is a basic example of, this is on Ranker, but you can see these things pretty much on almost any pop astrology website. But this is an example of what is wrong right now with modern astrology. So the creepiest thing about you according to your zodiac sign. So the problem with this is, and this is a problem with modern astrology, and this is why it has a bad name. It's because modern pop astrology in the West bases everything off of your sun sign. And when you look at a basic astrological chart, a sun sign right now, like the sun is basically here in the sign of Aries, look at all these other planets. So if somebody was born right now, when I drew up this chart, it's not just the sun sign here. You have Mercury here in the first house, and you have to look at where Mars is. You have to look at the placement of the moon. So that's why when you read these articles, they're complete crap. Okay, because it's basing it only on one planetary position. And then even when then, your possessiveness is really uncomfortable. Okay, well, if you have your sun in the sign of Taurus, that might be true, but you also have to look at Venus, which is the ruler of the sign of Taurus, and where your moon is. Okay, so this would be true, like if somebody had their sun, moon, and ascendant all in the sign of Taurus, which is probably about 1 in 1,000 and 1,050 is the chance of that happening, then this article would be true. But the fact is, it's not, because most people don't have that planetary placement just by the odds. So if you really want to get into astrology and you really want to understand it, you have to understand at least the fundamentals. But unfortunately, we have a bunch of people out there that are writing these really terrible articles because for some reason they think that astrology isn't relatable on its base value. So okay, so that's pretty much an end rant for today, but I'll tell you. So basically, the world's not going to end on the 23rd, and if it is, well, whatever, we're all going to be dead anyway. So I'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day.